Hello YouTube and fellow card collectors, this is Eric J and welcome to the channel. Today we are continuing our series of looking at collectibles and sets and games that pulled me away from sports card collecting in the 1990s. We are looking today at Star Wars customizable card game. This will be the 7th video where we're looking at these cards. We'll be looking at the light side versions of cards from the Dagobah expansion, the Cloud City expansion. Got 3 copies of each card from each of these sets. So, because I have full sets, I just happen to store them separated between light and dark side. There are 180 cards total in each set. Half of them are light side versus dark side, so 90 light side cards for each set times 3, so 270 cards I have for each set. 80 total rares in each set, so 40 light side for each side, and 50 commons, 50 uncommons, split 50-50 between light and dark side. Dagobah came out in April 1997. Cloud City came out in November of 1997. So without too much further ado, we'll show some of the cards and talk through some of my memories. One thing I do want to mention is that someone had asked me, and I think a live chat, what I've got going on with these cards. You know, why do they have this little seal and whatnot on them? Well, it's because I got them sleeved in clear sleeves, and these are Ultra Pro sleeves with an inner sleeve, which is also an Ultra Pro inner sleeve, so they're double sleeved. And the reason I got them that way is I still do play this game casually, and if I want to create decks quickly, I can just thumb through my binders, pull out the cards I need, and they're already sleeved to play, so I don't damage them, or any significant wear damage on the cards. So that's what's going on with the cards when you see these little symbols down there. But in any case, Dagobah set. One of the things that was unique about the Dagobah set for the light side is that there were exactly 2 characters, Yoda and a version of Luke. So you spent most of your time getting packs, if you got light side, that were effects, interrupts, and those sort of things. Not a whole heck of a lot going on in the character realm. And of course these guys were both rare, so not like they turn up too frequently. But given that it's the second part of Empire Strikes Back, where Yoda and Luke are doing their Jedi training thing, and the rest of the gang are out trying to avoid capture from the Empire, you'll see cards that help avoid capture, like the Landing Claw, and other things, and fixing the Millennium Falcon, which of course was damaged at the time of that movie. You'll see things that deal with that part of the plot line, and things that deal with the Jedi training. So from that standpoint, there wasn't a lot that was particularly exciting for the light side, since from a deck building standpoint, I shouldn't say most of us, a lot of us enjoyed playing the big named characters, and so when you're playing Dagobah, you're pretty much kind of doing your own thing, not really interacting too much. But I will want to note that there's this Asteroid Sanctuary card. This card was revised. I got a copy of the revised version of it later in this binder. The first version of it was pretty degenerate and allowed for strategies that people were able to exploit. I don't have enough copies of the card to be able to play with the original rules, but that was something that did occasionally happen with cards in this series. Decipher went the route that they did not want to ban cards or restrict cards unless the game text specifically said one or the other, which is different from competing games like Magic the Gathering, which have banned cards, they have restricted cards, and so on and so forth. So that's that. Don't need to go into too much of the metagaming at the time and any theories around building decks or whatnot. That's not the point of showing these cards. I just think they're cool at this point. A lot of pictures with Yoda on it, because we all love Yoda. Yeah. And then some of the silly Easter eggs. You'll notice that this card's printed upside down. That's intentional. Through the Force, things you will see as Luke is doing his handstand, seeing bad things happen to his friends. Part of the little tongue-in-cheek sense of humor that did show up from time to time with these cards. Dagobah introduced Jedi training cards, which is a completely new type of card. And if you're going to Dagobah with Luke and Yoda pretty much as your only characters, you'll just sit out there and might as well train your Jedi and get the benefits of them. So various Jedi tests have rules and their cards to help make them better or worse. So that was a strategy that you could do. I wasn't particularly fond of it because I found more fun in this game just interacting with your opponent. Jedi testing doesn't do a lot of that. And we got a revised version of the card here. So the text on the card changed, and so when they errated the version that was bad to use versus this version, which is the proper version to use. I think I'm not looking that closely at the text to figure out which is which, but in any case, there was a mail-in to get copies of the proper version of that card. It's also, I think, given or sent in some of the magazines of the time that would talk about games. Scry was the name of the magazine that I used to look at regularly. In any case, we're moving on to Cloud City. Cloud City, we start getting a few more main characters again, like another version of Han is always a good thing. As I mentioned, in the dark side version, Lando has a dark side and a light side version, which created some special rules. New version of Leia, which I believe this was the first non-promo, or the second. Well, you had Leia in Premiere, and then you didn't see Leia until Cloud City, though there are some special sets that Leia also showed up in. Promos and specialty sets that were outside of the normal expansions. So it's exciting to get some of the main characters again in the set. Of course, Cloud City, super overproduced. It's the Junk Wax, one of the Junk Wax sets of this particular game. So these are virtually worthless. Here's another of the silly cards. This one is printed backwards. With making fun of the fact that Chewbacca was just putting C-3PO back together, put them together backwards. Now there's another card in here that I've got duplicates of, and it was an error card. This card's called Dodge, where some of the cards had all the text printed on it and some of them did not, and I had 3 copies of each. That looks like the corrected version. So we'll see the error version later on. So even in card games, you get errors that turn up from time to time. Those things also show up in sports cards collecting. Though in this case, most of the errors are not super valuable. Though there were some Hoth expansion light side cards that were printed with the dark side back that still have some value to them because there aren't very many of them. through the various locations in Cloud City. And a few of the rebel ships. And this one, here's the error card. If you notice, you'd have to zoom in and look at it really closely, but the last word is cut off on these cards, where the other versions of it have the full text in there. Not a valuable error at all. It just so happens I had 3 copies of each when I was putting together the sets, and just decided to keep the error card for the heck of it. That's all of the cards in the set. The one last thing I wanted to show quickly is that I do keep checklists on the back of these binders, just to give me a chance to see name of card and type of card and whatnot, so that I can find them relatively quickly as I'm looking for a specific card, or if I don't remember specifically what set something is in. This is one way I can look them up. So in any case, that is the light side cards for the Dagobah and Cloud City expansions. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like and leave some comments. Those are all appreciated. If you enjoy content from this channel, please feel free to subscribe and hang out for future content. That is also greatly appreciated. We'll look forward to chatting with y'all in a future video. So for now, have fun, and we'll chat with you later. Bye.